Tomatoes, Puppies, and Everything Gardening. I'm Heather. I'm coming to you from Central Virginia, Zone 7. And today is technically August the 1st, but we're going to pretend that it's July 31st because I did not get to my July garden tour out front. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go look at all my flowers out front, have a few hidden vegetables in the landscape, and but it's mostly flowers. We're going to do the side yard and the front yard and let you guys see what I have going on at the end of July. And so let's get started. Oh, I wanted to tell you the weather today because it's incredible. It is only 84, but the humidity is only 48%. So it feels like fall, it feels like spring, it feels glorious out here. It's just wonderful. This is where we left off on our last garden tour. And in that tour, we talked about my side vegetable garden area and the raised bed area and the backyard. And there's Tonto eating some weeds. And I did show you my coleus and what is that, hellebore and heuchera over there. So I did pick quite a few things yesterday, and I did clean up this cucumber whiskey barrel. I only left 2 things, but I did put in the new trellising system, and I'm going to replant with 2 other cucumber seeds. So let's head on down here. So today we're going to talk about this entire side yard area here on my left. Then we will go over to my front yard and we will talk about all the pretty things going on over there. So we will start here. Oh, I finally have a zinnia to bloom here. These were self-sown. They were really slow to bloom. I guess they knew the right time to take off. So I'm going to give you an overview, and then I'm going to go in closer to show you everything in this little section here. So in the very front you saw the cotton lavender, which is this pale grayish green, the germander. Then I've got ice plant down in there. There's zinnias, zebra grass, and I think that's it, except for the back side is milkweed. I don't know if you can see it back there. Over here we've just got the mountain daisies, snapdragons that have already bloomed. So I'm just going to take their seeds and sprinkle. There is some garden phlox. I have strawberries over here too, but the deer kind of ate them down. Oh, dahlia. There was some pretty blooms on here, but I think they faded. We did have really bad storms, and a couple nights ago, and you can see the wind kind of took down some of the dahlias. I've got a dill and parsley bed back there behind my spruce, and that's for the butterflies. So I've got some issues here. I'm going to have to come out here and work on the grasses because the wind really whipped them to pieces. They shouldn't be spread out and flailed like that. So I have to think about what I'm going to do there. Well, you can see I'm still fighting the cucamelon. There's a vine. There's a vine. And I'm pulling them all the time, trying to get rid of them. They're more of a weed here for me. Yeah, I can see I'm really trying to sneak in, take over. This is a 9-bark. Some type of Supertunia or Million Bells. Then I've got a daisy growing here. This is, what is the name of that? Zulu. It makes a gorgeous flower. I don't really care for the foliage, so that's why it's kind of tucked in there. There's actually artichoke in here, but because of the grass being sprawled out, you cannot see it. And it looks like he needs some help. I need to get that off of him. Probably fertilizing too. Here's the milkweed on the back side of the grass in the front. This is another cucamelon. You can see they develop a root system that can be perennial here in Zone 7. And then here is the back side the right side area we just kind of got an overview of. This is a dark cucumber. Looks like the deer came out here and had lots to eat. That makes me mad because this has been a very prolific plant. Looks like they knocked off a cucumber baby. Makes me so mad. Now he looks really stressed, but he's not. It's just hot. I need to water him. You can see the soil is really dry. And then I've got a hardy hibiscus. It's a really pretty dark reddish color. And then we've got a volunteer cucumber coming up this trellis. I have no idea what variety it will be. It just started growing and I let it. I've got, somebody took a bite of my jalapeno there too. I've had horrible grasshopper issues this year. Looks like it's time to pick some more of these. Oh, somebody took another bite. Oh, there's a grasshopper. They are really ornery, and I have a hard time killing them because they kind of scare me when they're really, really big. Thai chili pepper here. And you can see that I need to pull all of this zebra grass back so that this guy's getting the proper air and light. And then one chore I really need to do that I hate doing. It's the reason why these pots are in the walkway here. This crepe myrtle has so many suckers and they're developing powdery mildew. So I need to get all those suckers off. I'm going to try a new product to kill the suckers. And I mean, I would love to just get rid of this. I inherited two when we moved here. And then the front side of this section, you can see lots of things going on. So we're going to move over there. Cucumber the deer ate. So I've got a ton of holy basil and strawberry gomphrena kind of just mixed together. I wanted to see what that would look like. All of the holy basil you see is completely self-sown. I did give quite a few away. This was an experiment here. Pretty sure these Louisias are toast. I thought they could tolerate the high heat and the dry conditions, but don't think so. African blue basil from cuttings. This area I'm going to change over to just mulch because I'm tired of fighting the weeds. I did relocate some of my red bee balm right here and also into a container over there by the nine bark. So we'll get an overview between the two crepe myrtles. And I'm going to zoom in closer now. So I made it to the back side of that horrible pathway. Is completely blocked. But this is the back side of the jalapeno pot. And I've got some kind of boxwood topiary thingy and some sedum here. Empty pot. I meant to plant marshmallow root and marshmallow plant. I had to chop my way through all this oregano because the other walkway is blocked with a riding spider. I didn't want to disturb him. Here's some gladolias I planted late because I got them on clearance. Oh, here's some pretty marshmallow. Isn't it pretty? The root is medicinal, but look it up, you know, for yourself to make sure it's safe for you. Got some milkweed. The Gara looks like it's lost all its foliage. There's some more milkweed. Oh, my poor little artichoke doesn't look well at all. I haven't been over here in a while to check on him. He's perennial, but he needs to get fed and watered. So you can see just a lot of growth. These are Siberian irises. I do collect the seeds, and it looks like there might be a few pods left that I could still collect the seeds from. This is hummingbird mint. I think this one's called Apache Sunset. And I have a huge rosemary shrub and bird bath full of creeping thyme. And then just a huge mess, guys. I'm ashamed to show you guys this. Maybe I won't, but I guess I should be honest. So, this is like my cottage garden area here in the very front of the side yard. And look at all the grass weed. It's a wonder they haven't called the HOA on me yet for this. For weeds. You're not allowed to have weeds, and I have a lot. But look at the creeping thyme, it's starting to bloom. Isn't that pretty? There's still a few blue flax flowering. All right, I'm going to walk down to the road and then look up so you can get a better view. Look, I have holy basil that volunteered way over here. It's funny. All right, guys, I'm going to try to make my way out and get down to the road so I can show you my weedy cottage garden area. This is a pretty zinnia. All the flowers here are self-sown. I didn't put out any zinnia flowers this year or cosmos, which these are beautiful orange cosmos that I love. I don't like the pink ones. The marigolds are self-sown. The weeds are self-sown. These black pearl peppers are self-sown and need to be moved around. They're just way too congested. What else? The tick seed, self-sown, of course, and I hate it. I hate tick seed. It gets so messy. See? It's all in the yard. Road. I don't know why I said yard. Yeah, I've neglected this area this summer, and I'm so ashamed. I should be. Because it is just a mess. Look at all those grasses. But there's also, I see other flowers in there too. Money plant, I could harvest those seeds. And I think the deer came through. Well, actually they did, because look at that. My sedum is completely gone. They ate it. They did not eat the lamb's ear, because they hate that. But they definitely ate the sedum, and they trampled the coneflowers. So, definitely have a lot of work to do here. I really like this color. That's so pretty. Some of the best colors are self-sown. Okay, we're going to walk over here to the other side of the driveway. I still got the same flag out because I figure if the HOA comes around, it'll explain why I have all those weeds. Here's a self-sown marigold, self-sown lemon bergamot that I just left here. Because the bees love it, the finches love the seeds. I may relocate it once all the seeds are gone, because it is perennial. Gara here in the midsection, toothache plant we grew from seed. I did that as a video, as an indoor sowing. Some little dwarf celosia that I bought. It's about done. Some of my shrubs, barberry, spirea here. And I absolutely adore this red twig dogwood. I don't know why it grows so well here, but it's like one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. It's only 3 years old. This basil didn't do too well. I think it's getting too much shade because of this glorious Midnight Marvel hibiscus. Let me put pictures up right here because it's almost done blooming. Not sure if you got to see it. There's one bloom. Guess I could show you this one real quick. Russian sage, and then some of the blue basil, African blue basil. This is one of those in Sunfinity sunflowers I got on clearance. I did want to pay full price because I thought it was way too expensive. So I found one for $5 on clearance, and it did do well, but you can see the birds have been demolishing it. It did recover though. It's a clearance plant. Weeds, taken over my ice plant. Did have California poppies here too. I just need to weed and reseed. Russian sage. And this might be the last bloom. The Midnight Marble. Isn't that beautiful? I love the foliage, but I love the flower too. Okay guys, so now we're going to head over to the 2 beds. We'll start with the middle one. I'll just work my way around. Let's start at the top. Self-sown zinnias. They're so dwarf though. They might be a dwarf variety. I did have some of the dwarf zinnias last summer. This is cinnamon basil that's flowering. And then I've got my cayenne peppers in these whiskey barrels with the cinnamon basil and some snapdragon. This is the first pepper to get ripe. Isn't that pretty? You see, I leave my hot peppers out front unprotected. It's almost as if the deer know not to eat them. This is a self-sown celosia from last summer. It was Fire Chief, but it could be a variation. Oh, there is another pepper ready. That one. Straw flower, one of my favorite flowers. Here is the Bulgarian carrot. I just harvested off of my 3 plants. I guess it was this weekend, and we tried it, and it is very, very spicy. Let's see what else we got going on. More straw flower. Got 2 containers of perennial hibiscus. This container is just yarrow and aster. I think this is Lady in Black aster. There are some Rudbeckias right there. I think it's caramel cherry. I could be saying that wrong. And this whole mess here on the side of this bed is the Gladolias. I don't think I like them. They make a mess. They just fall over. They really need to be supported. I think they've had enough time to put energy into the bulbs, so I'm just going to chop them. And if they want to come back next year, they can. If not, they don't have to, because I want to put a wave of okra here, because I love okra and I haven't grown any this summer yet. I still have about a good 75 to 85 days left. So I think we'll put okra all through there. I may even come over here and put a watermelon seed and let it just vine through this whole bed. This is my favorite. This is a hardy hibiscus that is variegated. I think it's Summer Carnival, but I could be wrong. Look that up. And I got this on clearance in the middle of winter. Took a chance on it. I think I paid $5. Very happy to have this plant. There's just random stuff in those pots. Another Bulgarian carrot. Whew, it is getting a little hot, to be honest. I thought it does feel really nice out back in the shade, but in the sun it's a little bit hot. Spider flower, one of my best defenses against the deer. Oh, the pineapple sage you can see is getting huge. We're going to go around here so you can get a better view. Look at these spider flowers. They stink and they're spiky. They have very spiky, thorny things on them, and that's one of the reasons the deer don't like them. This is a Lucifer bulbs that are starting to flower. Late, kind of late. This is just like a red sage, red flowering sage. And this has self-seeded itself for the last 2 or 3 years. I don't have to plant it, it just comes back. Here is the red pineapple sage. This is my pomegranate. And this is the Black Knight butterfly bush. And I did not prune it when I should have. And now it is like a, I don't know, 12 by 5.5 mess. I need to figure something out. It's just really wonky. And then we've got these, they balsam, is that what that is? They all self-seeded. I didn't plant this. Finally, after 3 tries, I got a Mexican sunflower to germinate. I'm so happy about that. I need to chop down these dead bachelor buttons. Get that into the woods to compost. And I think we're going to move on to the next bed. This is just some more of those million bells that I divided that I got on clearance about a month ago. Now we're going to move on to this bed, which is, I don't know, about 10 feet from the road. The sea holly has started to go to seed. The Alaskan Shasta daisy, also lots of seeds, and I'm leaving them because the finches and the birds just love them. It's ugly to me, but they love it, so. Did not harvest oregano this year because I still had so much, but you can see the pollinators love it. They have been so happy out here. So I just leave this mess for them. I got some beautiful dahlias. I do not dig my dahlias up here in Zone 7, and for the most part, 80% of the time they will come back. You can see I do have some weeds in this bed as well, but also a lot of pretty things. This is another dahlia. It's about 3 years old. Tried to kill it after the first summer and just get it out of this bed, but it decided it wanted to be here. So, even though I dug up what I thought were all the roots, it came back on its own. So it stays. Some feverfew. Even though I didn't get out here and cut it back after the first blooming cycle, it is now starting to bloom again. A little bit of sea holly, still with some color. Lots of coneflower, zebra grass. Most of the feverfew over here has developed seeds. We can just sprinkle those down in there. This is a spice hardy hibiscus, and it is about done blooming too, unfortunately. But there's a couple hanging on. They're so pretty. I love this one. I have 3 here on the side. That is a bridal bush. Here is a back view of this bed. I do have some eggplants that I just threw in here because I didn't know where to put them. They're not doing well because it's not really fertilized well here. It's bad soil. This is an extra tomato I had, so I had to put it somewhere, and it's been eaten many times by deer. I think I'll use it as a hornworm hotel, so if I find hornworms, I'm just going to start putting them here in case they have parasitic wasp. This is a really pretty Rose of Sharon. Rose of Sharon is toxic to dogs, but it is in the mallow family, but a lot of the mallows are safe. You just have to look up each one. That was one reason I put it in the front yard instead of the back, but it's almost like a trap crop for these Japanese beetles. Alright, so I think we're going to move on. So I've got a beautiful white dogwood here in the center of the yard. We're going to move up here to my most neglected areas. I used to call this my graveyard section, and I guess it still is. I just put stuff over here I don't really want or know what to do with. But I haven't weeded this area this year, so it's really kind of looking rough. And that shrub, he needs some work. He's taken over. He's literally fallen on top of my Bulia. Got some more money plant seeds here. This is why they call it money plant, because it looks like a coin when it's dry. There's lots of lemon balm everywhere because one summer I thought it was a great idea to have a patch of lemon balm, which is right there. And now I have lemon balm everywhere, all over my yard. yarrow that needs to get cut back, and I have some poles laying there that I need to move. I did kind of clean up this section up here a few weeks ago to put my bench. There's a camellia there. There is Sunshine Ligustum behind the bench. And then I've got 3 whiskey barrels of ground roses, snapdragons. And then you can see I've got a couple of planters I bought on clearance with some colorful million bells. They were really cheap, so I thought, why not? Tried to relocate some of my Chantilly snapdragons here, but looking a little rough, and it's been a couple weeks. This is a section of evening primrose that I grew from seed this early spring. And you can see my pineapple mint back there in that pot. This is where I've got my sweet potatoes for the year. Both of these containers have sweet potatoes and petunias. So when it's time, guys, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to do a video. We're going to empty both of these gigantic containers and see what we got. Up on the porch, it really needs to get cleaned up, but my caladium bulbs that I stored over winter, planted them, and I have new plants. I will be storing them again this winter, so I'll have more plants come next summer. These are the black pearl peppers I'm going to go move down by the mailbox. They were out back. Just thought I had time last night and I ran out. So here's a view as you come down the front porch. You got your 2 planters of sweet potato vines and petunias. And then this whole section right here in front of the walkway, I worked on this about 3 weeks ago. It was a total disaster. It was full of weeds. I'm going to put some pictures right here. So you can see by those pictures I did a lot of work. I weeded the bed, I expanded the bed, I brought it down about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches. I just need to put some mulch here over top of the cardboard. And I've got some petite zinnias. I've got some petite straw flowers. And then all of the celosia, it just self-seeded itself, and I moved it. So there was just a big clunk in this section, and I relocated most of these to different spots around the yard and in this bed here to fill in. My coleus, I also relocated a lot of coleus because I had a lot that's self-sown from last year. And here's my patio peach. You can see it's got lots of fruit. It keeps the chipmunks well fed. The squirrels, I find peach pits everywhere. It's not really edible for us unless we want to make something like a baked good, but it would take so many. So I just let the squirrels eat it, let the chipmunks eat it, and then I will get babies. I'm going to go show you those in just a minute. I've got 9 babies from last year that have potted up. There was something else. Oh, I wanted to show you this writing spider. Can you see him? Isn't he pretty? Not sure if it's focusing or not. And then my non-bark here on the very edge of this bed, which I really love. I love this non-bark. It's so pretty in the spring. Let me put some pictures up right here. Okay, so we looked at the 2 beds in the front yard. The bed right there on the edge of the driveway. And now we're looking at the walkway again from a different angle. I found this on clearance too, so I got it. I'm hoping I can dig up this and store the bulb and then, plant it next summer. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. I think it's getting a little bit too much sun right there. Some of the treasure Rainbow Treasure strawberries that I relocated from the green stock. Just giving them a little shade because I thought they were getting too much sun. Self-sown Thai basil, or I think it's Queen Siam actually, from last summer. And then I've got a container of chocolate mint. It is starting to flower, but I don't think it'll produce seeds because I thought this was a sterile plant and you had to actually buy the plant. But I'm letting it go just to see. There is, well, that was in the last tour. I don't know if I showed you this time. And then I've got this one raspberry plant that I put here a couple years ago. Kind of regret it because it's kind of taken over. So all of the new growth for fruit next year are these long arms coming off. And if I trim it, I'm going to be cutting off my fruit for next year. So I don't know what to do. My yellow giant rose that the Japanese beetles have been demolishing. You can see they just have a skeleton left of the leaf. Some lilies. Some Dusty Miller. The flowers are about done. So I could take those and just sprinkle them. See if we get some more. And that's about it, guys. I think this is where we're going to end, except I want to take you back here real quick. Here's some more of the Lucifer bulbs. I think this is a different color, though. I think this is the orange variety. Got some random coleus that were just babies that I relocated. I love this color. The fun thing about self-sown seeds, you never know what you're going to get. So these are the babies. I think they've recovered from the transplant. I dug them up from that flower bed when I weeded it. Put them into pots, kept the soil moist, kept them over here in the shade. And I would say most have recovered, if not all. This one looks a little iffy, and this one will be probably fine. Alright guys, so that's 9 plants for free from my one $10 clearance patio peach. I think that's a pretty good bargain. What I'm going to do is save these for when we move, because I think it would be just so stunning to have a walkway completely lined with patio peaches, because they are so pretty. Let me give you another look at mine so you can see how completely gorgeous it is. The raspberries getting in the way, but look at that. Look at it just moving in the wind. The color is more stunning in person. It's a really dark, rich mahogany and burgundy, and then you've got your greener leaves. It's just so pretty. And that was a $10 clearance find. Alright guys, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys are having a great gardening week, and I hope that I can bring you some more gardening tours, maybe in 2 weeks this time instead of 4. Talk to you soon. Bye.